Welcome back to the podcast. Today we are talking about the power of the pause.
Woohoo! Welcome to Shift Happens, the podcast about navigating the lighter side of life's challenges.
I'm Robin McIntire, a certified life and transitions coach.
And I'm Monique Eckes, questioner, kind of acting as you, the audience.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, power of the pause.
Power of the pause.
So, okay.
Makes me want to sit up straight.
It kind of does.
I'm serious about this.
Yeah, it kind of does, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's dive into this. This sounds exciting.
Okay, so power of the pause. This is about getting your power back in the moment.
Okay.
Okay, so our goals are often, they feel way out there. Okay, we're trying to make our behavior in the moment match up what our long-term goal or even short-term goal, but it's all about what are we doing right now, right? Where it's not about someday or tomorrow, it's a real goal that we've set.
Okay.
And it brings it closer and it helps us to get the power that we need to stay on task.
Okay.
I don't even want to say task, to stay in who we want to be to get to where we're going.
Okay.
Or become who we want to become, or get the goal, however you want to look at it.
Okay, because otherwise it's that person later on down the line will deal with it.
Yeah, right? We've talked about someday when.
Yeah.
And we've talked about, someday just doesn't get here, or...
Yeah, today's someday, right?
And because we're human, it's very, very challenging to take a goal, especially long-term. We'll say losing weight, because we're going to talk about some food today. But long-term goal... And remembering in the moment what that is when our little inner rebel comes up.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like that power of choice.
Yes. Yes. It is about power of choice. And we talked about this in a very previous episode, as in the last episode, slowing down to go fast. It's a similar thing where you want to stop in the moment and see what you're thinking and make a choice from there, a conscious choice and not a knee-jerk reaction. We talked about it in that, and today we're doing a deeper dive.
Yes, we're going to go a little bit more into, if we have a little bit more time for that pause, right? Because I think we do.
We do.
I think so.
Especially when you really can start practicing this as a rule. Just, I'm a person who knows how to pause. I'm a person who knows how to slow down and calm in the moment.
Yeah.
So when we see ourselves as that person, it's not even something we have to try to do after a while. I mean, it's a practice. There's that word.
I know.
It's a practice.
Yeah.
Like you said a minute ago, we talked about having a moment to do the slow down to go fast, where we're catching our thought, we're choosing different. And this is just a little deeper dive where we can get more visually involved of what we're actually, if we choose this, it's going to look like this. If we choose that, it's going to look like that. So we can slow down enough to place something through in our mind.
Because we're trying to make things lighter.
Right.
Right? So some of these goals have all these other things associated with them, or these things, these ways we want to be.
Yes.
They feel really heavy. This is one fun way, a lighter way, I think, to handle those every single moment.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
So good. So good. And the lightness, again, when we are light, when we are calm, when we're in an energy that's uplifting, everything, there's just more ease about all of it. Yeah. That's why you like it.
Yeah.
Just in case you didn't know.
Okay. Yes, I do like that.
Me too.
Yeah, and I hope you all out there are appreciating this too, because you can make a lot of these heavy things lighter. So let's get in. This is our deeper segment into this concept of pausing.
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, so choosing over reacting, we talked a little bit about that.
Choosing over reacting.
Yeah, so let's say we're in a hurry. We're in fast energy, and we're like, I don't care, I'm hitting the drive-through because I don't have time, or where if you stop and pause, that can look different, right? But choosing over reacting could be the morning didn't go as you planned, and your normal reaction might be, screw it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go back to food.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to plan my meal, and just screw it.
Just forget it, the day is lost.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It can turn into all or nothing. Oh, a whole nother topic, right?
Yeah,
we love all or nothing topic. But again, just choosing over reacting. We do that knee-jerk reaction. We talked about road rage.
Yeah.
And how that's just, we're doing a knee-jerk reaction to somebody else's stuff. And we can do it in our own life on a daily basis where we didn't set ourselves up properly. So we do the knee jerk, who cares, I don't have time, maybe a little victim mode. It changes everything.
And I think really remembering you have that choice right now. Because so often, again, I always think like, oh, that later, Monique, we'll figure it out. Today, Monique.
I'll deal with it later.
Quote, unquote.
Yeah,
right?
yes.
Okay, so we're choosing over reacting.
Choosing over reacting. Okay. And then here's what's fun is I call it playing it through.
Okay.
And you can probably guess what that means. But if we label it, we got to play it through. Okay. So we're not just going to pause this time.
Yeah.
We're going to literally play it through. So Monique, when we were making notes for this episode, we were talking about playing it through, you brought up a story of something that stuck with you about playing it through.
Yeah. So years ago, I think you'd done a workshop or a Facebook Live. I love all of her pearls. But one of the things that you had said, we were talking specifically about eating and food and weight loss and food choices. And the idea of when you're walking to the fridge and it's not really the time that you're maybe intending to make a meal.
Yeah.
Pause and go, why am I walking towards a snack or a food? Especially if it's something like, I've done forget it. Yeah. I'll just have ice cream at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday, right?
Makes sense. I mean, I'm having a rough day.
Yeah, you don't want to make a habit of that for sure. But I always remember that when you're like, I can picture myself kind of my hand out. Wait, why am I going to the fridge? Why am I going to the cabinet for the snack?
And you know that I probably use the fridge example because
you did.
Yeah, because when I'm in my office, let's say all the techie stuff that I've had to kind of learn and do to do the things in my business where I am now, if I get stuck in something techie or where my eyes can get strained and then I feel the energy go out of my body because now I'm really in resistance about what I'm doing. I don't want to be doing it anymore, even though I need to still finish.
Yeah.
That's when it's time to, I think I'm hungry, and I look at the clock. So so I probably gave you that example because I know it so well.
Yeah.
When we get up and just go to the fridge because we don't want to deal with something else.
Oh boy.
And it can be little or big, right?
Gosh.
It can be a mood, it can be a person, it can be anything.
It can be like, for me, sometimes if I know I have a task that's going to take like 2 hours at the computer, before I do that, I may as well get a snack. Or if I'm going to do something uncomfortable, if I have a phone call, maybe that's going to be uncomfortable for whatever reason.
Oh my gosh. So
that's when snacks will hit. And they're like, come on over here, Monique. So what we're talking about is playing it through, not golf, but playing the scenario through, right?
Yes. Okay, so you're at the fridge.
Yes.
You open it up.
We're imagining this.
Yeah, we're imagining this. You're at the fridge. You're in a mood, right? You're not hungry. It's not mealtime.
Yeah.
And even if it was, we can do the same thing, right?
Okay.
We're having a bad morning. I don't care what I eat for lunch. I cared this morning when I set my goal to eat healthy today, but now it's noon and I'm tired and I'm grumpy, so I'm opening the fridge in that space, okay, in that energy. Okay, I see two choices. I see the salad that I made last night as leftovers for today's lunch, and I also see a piece of chocolate cake. And I'm kind of cold, so a hot cup of coffee would be really good right now. So, I'm reaching for the cake, and everything in my body's like, but you promised.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that moment, you can still choose. We might think we already made our mind up and we already said forget it or screw it. Sorry if the language, I don't want to offend anybody with saying screw it, but that's the,
just
I've heard it, forget it. And we choose the cake. Even if it's in our hand and we're pulling it towards us, we can still do this exercise. Okay? So sometimes we think we've already thrown in the towel. But this is what's cool about practicing this, is you can stop in that moment and say, wait a minute, what is this going to feel like? So you literally stop for long enough. And again, this is still seconds, right? We stop, we got the cake. We can, if we really want to be honest with ourselves and we want to honor our highest person in there trying to keep us on task for whatever we've chosen, we play it through. Okay, it's going to taste really good. And then I'm going to bring my plate back and put it in the sink, and I'm going to be so disappointed because now I'm going to probably have a sugar crash.
Yes.
I didn't plan on having that. I've been eating really healthy, and I know I feel better. So you just play through all of it. So you can go to the end of the piece of cake, and then you can even go as far as, okay, I'm going to go back to my computer now after just eating the cake and being disappointed. What is my energy going to be like going towards the project I'm trying to create, or the people I'm going to go see, or whatever you've got going on? Play it through and try to pick out what the energy will feel like. You want to embody it as much as you can.
Okay.
So when you're thinking about what will I feel like after I eat the cake, if you want to put on top of that somebody if you're one to beat yourself up a lot, and I of course used to be this person, the things that the guilt and all pile it on, right? Just pile on the stuff that you didn't want, and then choose, do I still want to eat the cake?
Right.
So it's that's playing it through as that. But what's even more fun, and this is a practice that if you get really good at this, oh my gosh, then you really know you've got the turnaround magic. Okay. Play it through the other way. Okay, if I don't eat the cake and I had it in my hand, I even had it in my hand, and you know what? I put it back. And then I empowered myself by getting the choice that I already set up for myself. And this is not good food, bad food. I want to just pull that out real quick because I feel very strongly about that. We're not making ourselves wrong, good, bad. It's just what empowers us, what is serving us, and what isn't. So we go back to the thing that we put on the plan in the first place. Take that salad out, enjoy it, and especially right after you're over it, I'm over the fact I chose not to have the chocolate. All of a sudden, you don't salivate. You know, all the sensations you were feeling when you looked at cake and thought about eating it. That can go away just as quickly if we let it. Yeah. So playing it through is that. So tell me how that helped you when you used that, when you opened your fridge and thought of that. Tell me.
Yeah, well, I do it kind of all the time now. Well, I've set myself up for those snacks that I'm not worried about.
Okay.
You know, I have cranberries and almonds. I love those. My celery and my nut butter, love those. And so I don't often keep some of those, but if I go towards it, because, okay, here's an example that happens in our house. We have this joke at our house that we took chicken out, which means we don't really want to cook it. We're going to order pizza or Chinese food or whatever. Like, oh, guess what? I took chicken out tonight. And it's there. It's sitting right there. That's what gets me a lot of times. And I'll be like, hold on, you know? Wait a second, and how am I going to feel? Like my pocketbook's going to be lighter, darn it all. I'll have pizza instead of this chicken meal I was looking forward to. And
so it's not that you don't like the chicken.
No, I like the chicken.
Okay, you just had resistance in cooking it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's the same thing for if we happen to have some ice cream in the house or something. Oh, and what happens too is when I can kind of play it out, I feel so much more, quote, adult. If I choose the one I originally wanted.
There's a win. That win in there is, it sets you up for, you know, you're honoring your self promises. You can reach back and give yourself a little love. Because that builds on itself. Every time you have a win, it builds.
That's, yes.
It's so built.
Oh my gosh, I talk about that a lot too.
Yeah.
And I think too, it gives us, we're not going to talk really about grace in here, but when we stop to make that pause,
please, can we talk about grace?
Okay, all right, let's do it. We'll go there. When I do that pause and I do choose the chocolate cake, I know I've made that choice.
Yes. Okay, so liked your reasons. But you played it through first.
Yeah.
And that is a whole other topic we can talk about on a deeper level. That is so important because that has a lot to do with being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And, you know, it could be, I won't even go there, but the grace is good, and also really honoring, I'm going to make this choice and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Can I add something?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay, so this came from Mark David of the Psychology of Eating Institute. Okay, and I heard this coming home from New Mexico. I was listening to a whole series, and this was 10 years ago. And I remember him saying, if you are stressing out before you eat the chocolate cake, while you're eating the chocolate cake, and after you're eating the chocolate cake, do you think you benefit at all from this treat, supposed treat? That was so powerful for me because it's like beating yourself up after the fact. But really, if you're trying to lose weight, or you have an eating regimen that you try to stay by to honor yourself, and you step outside of that, there's just a whole nother group of thoughts and feelings that go with that. But but so I say this, I'm going back to that.
Okay.
When you eat the chocolate cake, enjoy it or don't choose it.
Okay, yes, and I think about that a lot because what happens, right? You're like, I was avoiding a task, right? So what do? I take that chocolate cake back to my desk. I'm half eating the cake and not even enjoying it.
So true.
Most of the time, I'm not even enjoying that.
So true.
I'm horking it down or whatever.
I know that one too, yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, I didn't even enjoy that I let myself, Yeah,
it's so
I
true.
totally get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think about that pause and think it all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes guts to do it, right? It's just not what we're used to doing.
Yeah.
We're used to going, I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah,
I don't care.
I gave up already. Yeah. So whatever.
It's just our knee-jerk reaction is usually, oh well.
Yeah.
I don't care, whatever.
Yeah.
And this does make you say, okay, be brave enough to play. If you're going to eat it and it's not what you said, then play it through first. And if you just make yourself play it through, and I hate to say make yourself, but if you do the pause, try this. Yes.
Right? Try this exercise because like that pause you say gives you the power. So when you think you've given up your day, maybe you just gave up for 15 minutes. And now you're like, okay, I'm back. I've chosen something different.
It's so true.
And
the power in that itself.
Yeah.
And it's not like, oh, go do the thing and then feel bad and then come right back and say, I'm going to do this and then do the bad thing again. It's not like that. But it's about we're going to have stumbles. And if you do choose the cake, enjoy it.
Yes, okay.
And also get back on the horse.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you've thrown in the towel, and I've done this. Oh. And I know lots of people who've done this. Like, if something happens bad at 8:15 in the morning, they have written off the whole entire day. I've written off the entire day.
Yeah.
And sometimes if we can just do this pause, the power of the pause, that gives us back the power to reclaim our day and what we wanted to do with it.
It is. And like you said, it's an adulting thing.
And I know, right?
It's emotional maturity, really.
Okay.
There's a maturity about dealing with our emotions and not just going with however we feel in the moment.
Yeah.
So it really does bring you back. It's a grounding.
Yeah, we talk a little about grounding too. Okay, so we do have a couple more things for you, but we need to do the sponsor break. I think this works perfectly into this.
I do too. I'm excited. This is actually something I created when I was a personal trainer. It was years ago that I created this, and I've just kind of reworked it. I've used it in a signature talk before. And it's really about the domino effect, and it's called, my freebie is, you'll see it down in the show notes, called Dominoes. And it is a worksheet for you, and it is about playing it through, but you can do it with habits and unwanted habits, and it's just another way, again, to look at it on paper. It's separating you from your behaviors. You're looking at it over here, so it's easier to accept it and see it more clearly than to think it's part of you and it's, it stays over there.
Okay.
And it's an easier way to view it. But you get to write out yourself how the domino, how it affects you when you pick the thing against yourself, or when you're choosing something new that you want to do, or the other side of it that's really helpful.
I like that because especially if this concept's very new to you, this is a concrete thing you can come back to over and over. Yeah. You can fill this out many times until you really get the feel for visualizing. I'm such a visual person as a photographer, videographer. I can easily visualize things, but not everybody can. Yeah. So this worksheet, I think, would really help solidify this podcast and many others. So I love that.
Yeah. No, I think you're right, and it is. It's literally, if you think of dominoes, but I invite you to use this to bring it home for yourself. So we can all think of what the first domino does and the rest of the dominoes do, but apply it to you.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is cool. It's fun.
All right, Robin, you're so famous for your one-liners. What is one of your one-liners that we can remember resonating with us after this podcast?
Well, a true confession, we kind of just made this up at the beginning when we were playing with this, and we just cracked ourselves up, right? All right, so stop, drop, and choose your role.
R-O-L-E.
Yes, when we wrote stop, drop, and roll, and then Monique came up with R-O-L-E, like what role are you going to play here? And it was perfect.
So stop, drop, and roll.
Stop, pause,
Pause.
drop, whatever you thought you were going to just do that you didn't want to do. And then you choose which role you're going to play.
Yeah.
I love that.
I know. I think that's going to rattle in my brain today for sure.
Yeah, I bet that'll be one for me as well.
Yeah.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Ooh,
And
okay.
choose your role.
Choose your role.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, action items.
Yes.
So, what would be a good sequence of events every time we're caught with this?
Yep. So catch it again.
Okay, catch it.
Catch it. That takes us back to slow down to go fast. You're gonna catch it.
Okay.
So we're gonna pause. Like literally give yourself a minute and take yourself just quiet. You're gonna pause. You're gonna connect in. So you're getting back in your body.
Okay.
You know, the mind was gonna take you one place. We're bringing it, you're getting back in your body. So connect in. Okay. And then you're gonna play it through. I mean, really generally what we talked about. You're gonna allow yourself to play it through. So the action step really is practice this.
Yeah.
Practice this and don't be hard on yourself. Try it again and again and again. And pretty soon you're going to be the woman who, or the man who, whoever's listening, you are going to be the person who just automatically goes to that place of, oh, wait, stop. Do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? And then you get to choose. And so we're taking you out of autopilot.
Yes. Yeah.
Conscious choice.
That's so great. And this is food choices and beyond.
Oh, yes.
But this is such a concrete example. Yeah. So if I'm going to do this action, I am going to pause, I'm going to stop, I'm going to kind of drop what I thought my expectation was, right? And then imagine my paths.
Yep.
Okay.
I love it. Both paths. That's good. Yes.
Yeah, any paths.
And I like that you said drop your expectation because you were already tasting the cake. I was. Sorry, won't put that on you.
A little bit.
Yeah, that's good.
For sure.
Really good. I like that.
All right, great. I
So
love
good.
it. Okay. Well, that rounds out this episode. Can you believe it?
So does.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening and watching if you're on YouTube. And remember, shift happens.
Shift happens. Shift happens.
Yeah, but Robin's here to help you.
I am so here to help you.
All the information from this episode, the freebies, all of that are in the show notes, but they're also, everything's always on the website. Remind us what the website is.
RobinMcIntire.com. So RobinMcIntire.com, all eyes.
All eyes. All right. Well, that wraps up this episode. Great to see you.
Thanks for being here.
All right. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop. Ciao.